The federal court has struck down a key provision in the Peaceful Assembly Act. This was in response to Amir Hariri Abdul Hadi's challenge against the provision. However, Amir said the ruling shouldn't distract from the government's failure to act on the LCS scandal, which was what he had protested against. Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has responded to concerns about political interference in the appointment of a new Chief Justice. Stay tuned for all the details. The federal court has ruled that a part of the Peaceful Assembly Act is unconstitutional. Specifically, the ruling struck out Clause 9(5) of the PAA. Section 9(5) stipulates that an organizer can be slapped with a fine of not more than 10,000 ringgit for failure to provide a notice to the police 5 days before a planned gathering. Chief Justice Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat, on her last day before retirement, led a 5-member bench today in the unanimous ruling over a challenge brought by former MUDA Secretary General Amir Hariri Abdul Hadi. He was charged back in 2022 for allegedly failing to notify police before a protest over the LCS scandal. His legal team challenged the charge, and on August 8th last year, the High Court granted him leave to bring the case to the federal court. According to FMT, Tengku Maimun said Section 9(5) imposed punishment beyond what's allowed under Article 10(1)(b) of the Constitution, which guarantees the freedom of speech, assembly and association. She called the section a disproportionate intervention that amounted to a prohibition rather than a restriction on the guaranteed rights. Tengku Maimun also ordered that Amir's criminal case be sent back to the High Court and resolved in line with today's decision. Prior to today's judgment, the government reduced an initial 10-day notice requirement under the section to 5 days. Amir later said that the decision should not distract the public from the literal combat ship controversy. Let's take a look at what he said.
Saya just nak ingatkan semula bahawa saya didakwa di mahkamah pada tahun 2022 kerana menganjurkan himpunan mana kapal LCS. Kalau ingat ketika itu, ada skandal kapal LCS yang mana bilion ringgit telah pun dibelanjakan tapi kapalnya tidak ada. Malah sehingga hari ini tidak ada kapal. Waktu itu, ada yang sekarang ini dah jadi menteri dan dah berhenti menteri pun, ada yang bersama dengan kerajaan, turut bersama dengan kita berhimpun secara aman menuntut keadilan, menuntut supaya isu ini diselesaikan. Saya just nak ingatkan pada kawan-kawan sekali lagi bahawa sehingga ke hari ini, walaupun dahulu pelbagai kenyataan dilakukan, ratusan juta kononnya telah pun dicuri dan sebagainya, hingga hari ini, the only person yang masih lagi di mahkamah adalah saya yang bersuara berkaitan tentang isu LCS. Allah yang telah pun didakwa seorang sebelum ini, seorang general, telah pun digugurkan kes kerana masalah mental. Dan saya percaya yang paling akan takut sekali dengan keputusan mahkamah hari ini adalah Anwar Ibrahim dan rakan-rakan. Kemenangan ini kemenangan kita semua kerana kita gunakan hak kita untuk berhimpun secara aman. Dan telah pun terbukti dilakukan secara aman. Kita turun naik mahkamah lebih 3 tahun. Malah orang yang terlibat dengan skandal rasuah, mereka yang terlibat dengan skandal-skandal masih bebas hingga ke hari ini. Dan saya fikir kita juga ingin ucapkan ribuan terima kasih dan selamat buat Tengku Maimun yang saya fikir mungkin hari terakhir dia hari ini. Cuma saya fikir kalau Anwar Ibrahim dan rakan-rakan punya sekelumit rasa perasaan reformasi dalam diri mereka akan sambung yang pertama dan mereka akan dakwa orang-orang yang terlibat dengan skandal-skandal termasuk skandal kapal LCS dan bawa mereka ke muka pengadilan.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has weighed in on the topic of the appointment of a new Chief Justice. This comes amid the delay in announcing a replacement for Chief Justice Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat, who is set to retire upon reaching the mandatory retirement age of 66 this Wednesday. Mahathir said he was informed there are differing views among the Judicial Appointments Commission members selecting the judge and hopes the commission settles it. He stressed that there should be no external interference. Speaking to reporters yesterday, Mahathir warned that outside involvement could undermine the judiciary's integrity. He said if outsiders decide who becomes a judge, we will not get the best judges. He added that this was why they entrusted the responsibility to the commission. He said the commission has enough members to evaluate the candidate's performance. Mahathir also stressed on the importance of appointing someone with extensive judicial experience to match Tengku Maimun's qualifications. He said a Chief Justice like Tengku Maimun has a long track record, which is why her decisions are easily accepted by all parties. UMNO Youth Chief Dr. Akmal Saleh was set to debate a student activist tonight. However, the debate is now on hold. This is as Akmal's father has fallen critically ill. In a statement, Secretariat Rakyat Benci Rasuah said the postponement is made in solidarity with Akmal and to give space for Akmal to be with his family during this challenging time. It also expressed sympathy for Akmal and his family and urged members of the public to pray for them. The Secretariat added that a new date for the debate will be announced once the situation allows and after further discussions with Akmal. The debate was originally slated to be held at 9 p.m. at Rumah Mandiri in Petaling Jaya, where Akmal was to face off against student Fakrul Razi Khairur Rijal. The topic of the debate is demonstrasi baka membaka, bebal atau berakal. Previously, Akmal had challenged the students to a debate following a protest in Sabah on June 22nd that culminated in the burning of a poster of Anwar, and Fakrul Razi had accepted the challenge. Last night, however, Akmal posted on his social media accounts that his father is on his deathbed. He asked friends who know his father to pray and apologized on his father's behalf if he had hurt anyone's feelings when he was well. A man had claimed he was assaulted and stabbed by a royal figure. Now the case is with the Attorney General's chambers. Pahang Police said they have wrapped up the investigation in the case and have sent the investigation papers to the AGC. In a press conference today, Pahang Police Chief Yahya Othman reportedly said that his team is awaiting instructions from the AGC regarding the alleged incident at a Kuantan nightclub. He said police opened an investigation into the case under Section 324 of the Penal Code and sent the investigation papers to the AG. According to him, the AG had returned it to them to complete the investigation, and they had completed it and submitted it back to the AG. Yahya said 13 individuals had their statements recorded to complete the investigation, including the victim, who was called in for identification purposes. On May 8th, a trader claimed to have been assaulted and stabbed by a group of men, including one believed to be a member of the Pahang royal family, while at a nightclub. According to a police report that went viral on social media dated June 5th, the 30-year-old complainant alleged he was attacked by the group after he bumped into the royal family member twice at different entertainment venues. The MCMC recorded a statement from an individual over a social media post that contained elements of racism. In a statement today, the MCMC said the post touched on the appointment of a new Armed Forces Lieutenant General with a racial narrative that could potentially disrupt the country's harmony and unity. Following this, it said the individual was summoned to give his statement and facilitate the investigation. The MCMC added that it had also seized a handphone and SIM card to facilitate the probe. The probe is being conducted under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998, which carries a penalty of a maximum 500,000 ringgit fine or 2 years jail or both. While MCMC did not name the individual, Malaysia Kini understands the person was Sungai Buloh PAS Division Chief Zaharuddin Muhammad and has contacted him for comment. Previously, Zaharuddin, who is also past President Abdul Hadi Awang's son-in-law, had made a post on Facebook where he had also attached a screenshot of a news article regarding the promotion of Johnny Lim Ng Seng from Major General to Lieutenant General. He had penned a news report from the future about a hypothetical scenario in 2058 when a Chinese person has become the 50th Prime Minister, with his parents having secured citizenship through the Malaysia My Second Home scheme. However, Zaharuddin insisted that the appointment is not linked with the post, saying that it is merely decorative and had no connection with the news above. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Elon Musk has hit out at US lawmakers and US President Donald Trump over a massive tax and spending bill. He's calling it the biggest debt hike in history and threatened political payback for anyone who votes yes for it. In a series of posts on X, Musk slammed US politicians who campaign on spending cuts but now back Trump's bill. In a post on X, he said every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their head in shame. Musk said they will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing he does on this earth. He didn't just go after Republicans. He also attacked what he called the Democrat-Republican Uniparty. He warned that if the bill, which has been dubbed the Big Beautiful Bill, passes, the America Party will be formed so that the people actually have a voice. Musk added that anyone who campaigned on the promise of reducing spending but continues to vote on the biggest debt ceiling increase in history will see their face on a poster in the primary next year. He attached an image of the poster in his post. According to Bernama, Trump has been advocating for the bill's passage for weeks and had applied pressure on critics within the Republican Party. Critics such as Musk have criticized the bill for not going far enough in cutting government spending and for increasing the debt ceiling. Rafizi Ramli had previously warned of deepening concerns over the judiciary, particularly in response to the upcoming replacement of the Chief Justice and the appointment of new judges. With several senior judges approaching retirement, he said questions have arisen about the future direction of the country's judicial system. In light of these developments, we asked our viewers whether they thought the government is handling these matters in a way that protects judicial independence, or is there reason to be concerned about political influence? Let's take a look at the responses. A majority with 68% of voters said that there is legitimate cause for concerns. Meanwhile, 24% believe that the government is prioritizing judicial independence and appropriate appointments are being made. 6% said it is a complex issue and a balanced, transparent approach is needed. Several voters brought up the issue of separation of powers and said that the judiciary needs to be separated from the other branches of the government. A user also said to prioritize seniority in the elevation of judges. What are your thoughts on the matter? Share them in the comment section below. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Kim Ilya. Thanks for watching.